Alrighty guys, this is a super important video. If this video isn't anywhere on YouTube, anywhere on the web. If it was, I would just link it, but it's not. Okay, so how do we fight for the Constitution? What do we do going forward? Because there's no magical pill, there's no magical act that's going to be signed, there's no bunny in a hat that's going to be pulled out. This is going to take fucking work, and it's going to take work on a local level. And what people don't realize is the way this country was founded, the way our forefathers had founded our country, was for local governments to have independent sovereignty, right? For them to be able to do what's best for their localization, for their local citizens, okay? And so it's important to realize the power in state governments, the power in county and local municipal governments. And like I said, if this video was anywhere else, I would just like to link it and just say, watch this, but it's not anywhere. So people keep talking about localization, but they never explain what the fuck that means. I'm going to explain what the fuck that means. We saw on the 6th, the march on the Capitol. Millions of people showed up to march on the Capitol. That was very ineffective. Obviously, breaking property, destroying property, super illegal. And I don't know why anybody thought that was a good idea. I have no idea why people thought that was a good idea. Absolutely, it was a monstrosity. It was absolutely horrible. So let's look at this from a very effective standpoint. And I don't want to make this video too long because it's super simple and easy what we got to do, okay? America's divided, right? And we are divided on a political level of who voted for Trump, who voted for Biden, all that stuff. So let's take 50 states. Out of 50 states, and I'm talking about the contested results, right? The results that people claim are contested. I'm using these numbers. So the truth of the matter is, I'm using the numbers that a majority of the people, the population, don't even agree with, just to reinforce how easy this can be to accomplish. So as of right now, America has 50 states. Trump won 25 of those 50 states. Biden won 16 of those 50 states. Of the states, there are 2,974 counties. Trump won 2,496 counties. Biden won 477 counties. Trump won 84% of America. If you look at it from a county level, Biden won 16%. Now, of that 16% is where you have the most heavy, population densities. I get that. So, how do we move forward from a localization standpoint? Well, when Trump won 84% of the counties, it's real simple what we got to do, guys. We have to get localized. What does that mean? What is more powerful? The fact that you had millions of people come to the Capitol and protest, or the fact that you have, 84% of the county saying, These are our lines in the sand. This is what we want to do. We have put up infrastructure and we have put up laws and regulations that govern our counties. Let me give you an example. We've already talked about the sanctuary cities, right? What we got to do as people that believe in liberty and believe in the Constitution, we have to do exactly what California is doing. Yes, I said it. We have to do exactly what California is a great example of what needs to be done. California is a sanctuary by credo, by policy, by red tape, by everything. California, for example, is a sanctuary city for illegal immigration. It's a federal law that, immigration has certain requirements. California, on the other hand, has bypassed that on the state and local level. They are a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. So why can't 84% of America have sanctuary policies for the Constitution? That's completely legal. 110% legal. Why can't you do that? There's places in West Virginia, for example, that have sanctuary policies for example, the Second Amendment. There's other places in Texas and Ohio that have policies for sanctuary policies and laws for the First Amendment. The state of Florida, for example, has a state policy on SB 82 for being able to grow your own food. And that just happened in 2019. Before 2019, there was no laws in Florida that protected people's right to grow food on their own property. There was no right and protections until somebody was actually brought up on charges. Did the Florida governor finally put an executive order that says, no, SB 82 vegetable gardens, you are allowed to grow food on your property or any other residential area. No law shall infringe that. That is what we got to do, people, because no matter what the federal government wants to do, all you're saying to the federal government is, thank you for your service. We appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you for your service. However, in our state constitution and in our constitutions for our state and for our county and for our rules, guess what? We have these stances. We appreciate it. We're not going to impede you in any way. You do whatever it is you got to do, but we won't be assisting you because we believe in the Constitution. These are our rights. And this is what the county has set up, and the county will not enforce any violations of our law. So thank you, but no thank you. You have, 16% of the other counties to play in. You already see that. You see that in Oregon. You see that in Arizona. In Texas, you have sheriffs that have sent letters to Obama, for example, saying, hey, guess what? We will not be assisting you in any gun confiscation. And if any agent of any state decide they're going to violate the state constitution of our state, they'll be arrested and subject to charges, right? So if 84% of counties voted for Trump, why is it that 84% of counties can't get a ballot on a measure or a ballot in place that says, we want to be a sanctuary city for the Constitution? Why can't any other state, if Florida can do it, why can't any other state say, hey, we reserve the right for our citizens to grow their own food? Can we give you, in Oklahoma, SB 548, they're trying to push it through. It is a sanctuary state for the state of Oklahoma to be a Second Amendment sanctuary per the Constitution. This information, this literature is already there. The template's there, and I'm going to link everything in the description box below. All you have to do is go, copy and paste, and present it to your local municipality, or have somebody else present it to your local municipality. Ask your neighbors, is this something that you would be against? Hey, mayor, city council, is this something that you would be against? I mean, especially if you are one of those people in 84% of America. Hey, city council member, is this something that you would be against? Would you guys be against us putting in something that says that, we're a sanctuary city for the Constitution? This is the template I have. These counties and these cities are already doing it. And the reason why I know this is possible is because this is what we've done in our local municipality. So when a lot of people, ask, why don't you seem worried? Why aren't you worried? What do I have to be worried about? I know what my local municipality stands for, which is why I'm here. This stuff was already set in motion before I got here. And since I've been here, it's been moving more and more. People are getting localized. It's just, it's what do you have to be scared of when your county and when your city has already literature in their laws that say, no, we support the Constitution. It doesn't matter what the politicians do in DC. If your local municipality has already a stance, what's the federal government supposed to do? Take on 84% of America? I mean, if you're talking about a power stance, a couple million people having a temper tantrum in downtown at the Capitol building. I mean, what's more effective? A temper tantrum with couple million people? Let's say 10 million people were in DC. They weren't, but let's just say 10 million people having a temper tantrum in downtown DC, or 78 million Americans saying, no, man, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thank you for your service. But our state constitution says this, and we're just following suit with California. We're just following California's lead here. So this is what we're doing. And thank you, but no thank you. You have 16% of the country to play in. So thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Thank you for your service. It's a no-brainer. So if I had to give you guys off a list of things that you should look at introducing immediately, I would say SB 548. I'll leave that in the description box below. And you don't have to take it word for word. If you feel like, SB 548 is too conservative, or you feel like it gives people too much freedom, well then change the words around that fit your narrative, because I get it. What works for Oklahoma may not work for New York, right? That's just what it is. So take it and figure out what works for your area and see if other people believe it, and then run with it. Like I said, it's so much easier to get, legislation set up, positive legislation set up in your local city than it is to do it in your county, or it is to do it on a state level, or it definitely is to do it in a federal level. But there are thousands of counties, right? There are thousands and thousands of cities. There's no reason that says that you guys can't come together and say, hey, city council, this is what we want to do. And if your city council says, no, we don't want to do that, okay, perfect. Well, enough of us do, so just so you know, you're gonna be voted out of office. I like you, you're great. We're in part of the same PTA meeting, our kids play together, all the other bullshit, but hey, you gotta go. We believe in the Constitution. If you don't believe in the Constitution, you're gonna be voted out. We're gonna vote some other people in, and we're gonna get the sanctuary. We're gonna get the Constitution passed as law. So that's what it is. And I guarantee you, at a local level, we're already seeing this on a local level. Like I said, we're seeing this all over the place. So SB 548. Sanctuary legislation for the Second Amendment. SB 82, what Florida's governor, and I'm linking the verbiage. So all you have to do is go copy and paste it. I recommend you go immediately to the links, copy and paste them, so you have the verbiage, and then see what works for your area. It's that simple, and all you have to do is introduce it. Anybody can do it. Anybody. If Nancy Pelosi can do it, anybody can do it. And I just mean that if Nancy Pelosi can, insert bullshit fiat as law, anybody can do it. So SB 82, vegetable gardens, it basically says that the government shall make no law that would prohibit landowners and people that, own property to restrict their ability to grow food on their property. I don't see how that can be considered. I don't see how that's controversial. And make people feel stupid. If somebody does feel like it's controversial and they shouldn't do it, just use common sense. Like, for example, if you live in Oregon, well, we'll go to the next one. Texas has a policy, TXSB1620, that basically says that the state of Texas will not make any law that would prohibit people from having so many chickens, right? They're not saying you can have a free-for-all, but they're saying that this is protected. Having backyard heads is protected up to this point, right? And so I don't see how this controversial. Well, let's take the state of Oregon, right? Meth decriminalized, chicken criminalized, depending on where you're at, or there's all these different things, right? So you mean I can, if you're in a state where marijuana decriminalization is happening, so you're telling me I can have 6-7 plants of marijuana I can grow legally, but I can't have a tomato garden here, or I can't have a few backyard chickens. Okay, if that's how you want to play it, let's go at it. Like I said, this can be done on a local level, your local city, your local county, and then you can rise up. Like I said, once you have the template, once you have the words, all you have to do is introduce it and keep introducing it, because eventually you're gonna get it passed. I'm not saying it's gonna happen the first time, but they can't stop you. And if you have hundreds of Americans, thousands of Americans, millions of Americans in your locality saying, no, we want this, and they keep sending it, it's going to get passed. It's going to get passed. It's just that people don't do it, right? So if you have a city of 2,200 people and one person, brings this motion forward, it can get denied. But if you have 10 to 20 to 100 people, it's going to be like, okay, crap. We have a population of 2,200 people, and 100 people said that they want the ability to grow gardens, and it's right now decriminalized. Or let's say gardens isn't decriminalized. Well, then why can't we put in a law that says we protect that right? In our Constitution, it says we have the right to freedom of speech. We have the right of the Second Amendment. And it says we have that right in case anybody tried to take it away. Well, just because you don't have a law banning it, doesn't mean that it can't be banned. So why don't you be proactive and put a law or ordinance into effect that would protect it? Common sense, guys. Well, we don't have anything that would prohibit us from having gardens. Well, perfect. And if that's not an issue, put it in writing, because that is how we're going to win this localization. The next one, a lot of people are calling this the Campus Free Speech Protection Act, SB 723, Senate Bill 723, and this basically allows, this is one, I believe, from Tennessee, and it allows freedom of speech on campus. There's nothing that says you can't take this verbiage and apply it to your city. Say, we believe in the freedom of speech here, and our city will make no laws that would prohibit people from conducting the following, well, I don't know, like I said, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, freedom of speech is in the Constitution. Yeah, I get it. And guess where that's getting us right now? So as a locality, it's important for you guys to figure out what is considered permissible now. Because if you don't put into law what's considered permissible now, yeah, I get it. We have the First Amendment right. But look at how it's been translated. It's up for you guys to make sure that you have your translations that give you the most freedom. That's what it comes down to. And like I said, these things can always be amended. That is what liberals are good at doing. They're good at creating fiat laws, fiat ordinances. That's what they're good at doing. So I highly encourage you, look at those. That right now I feel like is the most... is the easiest things to do at the moment, and there's obviously more that can be expanded upon, but I feel like these, 1, 2, 3, these 4 things, I feel like are the most actionable things that we can do immediately, right? There should be no reason why you in your local area can't say, we believe in freedom of speech, we believe in our right to have a vegetable garden, we believe in our right to grow food, we believe in our Second Amendment rights, especially if you live in 84% of America that voted for Trump. If you live in a county that voted majority for Trump, I don't see how you can't get this passed. I don't see what Trump supporter would be against having the ability to not have a law that would prevent you from having a vegetable garden. I don't know where you would be able to have a problem when it says we have the right to our First and Second Amendment rights. Like, that is why they voted for Trump in the first place. And like I said, if it doesn't happen the first time, don't give up hope. For those of you that marched in Wall Street, you literally spent your hard blue collar, white collar, whatever. You spent your hard money, your hard working money to go to DC to march. You can't tell me that you can't go to a local city, take your little feet to a local city council meeting and say, I want my rights protected. If we all did that, what's anybody going to do? Like I said, you are not doing anything illegal. It requires no violence. It just requires you to say, hey, guess what? Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do. But, hey, this is what's in our state constitution, and this is the laws that we have, and we are going to enforce it. So, yeah, you can't tread on our ability to grow food. We have the Second Amendment right. It's protected by our bylaws here. I understand you have a job to do, but we won't be assisting you in any way. Anybody that would go against what our rules are, we won't assist you. And this goes the same for law enforcement, man. Like, people want to talk so much crap about law enforcement, and yeah, there's cops that fuck up. There's no doubt about that. But instead of defunding them, and instead of just throwing them out with the bathwater and creating a situation that's unsafe for everybody, why don't you ensure that you talk to your city and you create legislation for what you want your officers to do? If you don't want your officers going door to door, if you are afraid of your police officers going door to door and being tyrannical, why don't you make sure that can't happen? They operate off Lexipol policies that are governed by the city. The city council set precedents for what they do. Or if you're in a city like Portland, Oregon, it's the mayor that sets the precedents. So with that being said, if you are afraid that's going to happen, why don't you have that conversation? Because I guarantee you, if you live in 84% of America, that's not going to be an issue. But to make sure it's not, make sure you have that as an adaptation. We don't want our officers involved in this kind of activity. We don't want our officers doing this. We don't want our officers doing that. Make sure that's put and codified. Give your officer, because the police office, the police department is controlled by, as much as people don't want to admit it, it's controlled by the local governing body. So if you want something changed, you go to the local governing body and they can change it. Overnight, they can change it. So change it in your favor. Have your cops work for you. If there's something you don't like, you tell them, I don't like X, Y, and Z. A lot of these liberal cities have been doing it for years. A lot of these liberal cities and local DAs and different district attorney's offices said, we're not going to prosecute any crimes regarding drugs, or we're not going to prosecute any crimes regarding this, regarding that. That's a real thing that's happening right now. So if you take the state of Oregon, great example. If you're in the state of Oregon, their district attorneys are not prosecuting drug crimes. Even if it's a clear-cut case, they're not prosecuting them. Why? Because the people of Oregon decided that they want meth decriminalized for whatever fucking reason. That's what it is. So officers are not Officers can't take enforcement action on something that the district attorney in their local municipalities said you're not going to do. Why can't you do that in your own county or your own city? The answer is you can't. I just feel like a lot of you guys don't know that you can do that. So if there's certain things that you don't want your police officers to do, even like I said, technically in Oregon, it's state law that says, you know, PCS meth is a crime. But with the new crime bill that was passed, it's not enforceable. Is that illegal? Is that illegal? Well, the legality is pretty clear according to the state attorney's office and the county district attorneys. So if you don't want your police officers doing something, amend it. It's that simple, guys. It cannot be more hard. That is how we win this battle. That's simple. Like I said, I'm going to link everything in the description box below. You are literally going to have these bills that you can copy and paste, and you can immediately go around tomorrow if you wanted and take them to your local city or local county clerk's office and say, I want to put this into the minutes. Let's have a conversation. You literally just have to copy and paste it. And if you want to change the words around, change the words around. It doesn't have to be one size fits all for everybody, but the verbiage is there. You don't have to sit there and recreate the wheel. The wheel is here. You just have to take some out, put some more in, whatever you got to do. I'm literally going to give you all that here. Here you have it, guys. That's how you fight for the Constitution. It's that simple. It is not hard. 84% of America voted for Trump, according to the results that we currently have. 84%. There's no reason why 84% of America can't be like, this is what we want to see on our local levels. Done. There's no reason why these can't be implemented overnight. So if you want to talk about taking your power back, forget the elected officials. Doesn't fucking matter. Forget the senators. Doesn't fucking matter. If your local and county and state governments are saying, this is what we want, it will happen. Here you guys go. Like I said, it's 100% legal. You're just doing what California's doing. You're just following suit with what the Democrats have been successful with for years. It's 100% legal, requires no violence, and you get immediate results. What more could you want? Hope you guys liked the video. If you don't like the video, leave me a thumbs down. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me the inaccuracies. Please go check these out. Check these publications out. Check these laws out. I'm going to link them in the description box below. All the verbiage is there. It's literally as easy as copying and pasting. So there you have it, guys. As always, long live the Republic.